Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here coming at you from the Knife Center. And today we're taking a look at two really cool cleaver style pocket knives. It's the Gerber FlatIron versus the Kershaw Static. Let's do this. That's right, these are pocket cleavers, but first off, no, they're not really intended for food prep, they're just supposed to be cool. Both these companies designed these knives to be different than your average EDC, but they're still very usable. You can kind of think of them as really big sheep's foot style blades. Since there's almost no belly to the edge on either of these knives, they work well for any kind of aggressive cutting tasks. Cardboard comes to mind immediately, because as you slice, the tip is less likely to slip out while you cut. That said, the tips are still usable, especially for things like opening packages, and they're going to work great for any kind of scoring or cutting on a surface that you need to do. When it comes to the blades themselves, the Gerber FlatIron features stone-washed 7CR17 MOV stainless steel featuring a hollow grind. And honestly, the way this is shaped, it reminds me a lot of a straight razor. The stonewashing they use on this knife is a really heavy pattern, and it's a great working finish. It's going to help minimize the appearance of scratches when you actually use this knife because they're going to blend into that pattern. As far as opening the FlatIron, it's easily achieved with one hand thanks to the blade cut out here. Now, one of the criticisms with earlier versions of the FlatIron is that they were a little bit hard to open. So to address that, they've responded to those criticisms by making the hole a little bit larger and moving it further down the blade. This gives you a little more purchase and a little more leverage, makes it very easy to open with no problems. At the back of the blade here, we've got a large finger choil that enables choking up for fine control of that cutting edge. And you get about 3 inches of actual cutting edge with the FlatIron. The Kershaw Static is a smaller knife overall, and you only get about 2.5 inches of edge with this design. To make up for that though, they use 8CR13 MOV steel, which should have a little bit more edge retention than the 7CR on the Gerber. We get a flat grind on this knife instead of a hollow, and it also has a satin finish, so it's not going to hide scratches as well as that heavy stone-washed texture on the FlatIron. The Static also comes with a large finger choil, and it's a little bit broader, very comfortable, and all the edges have been chamfered over for very good comfort. The FlatIron's choil is not chamfered, but it isn't crisp either, and that's because of that stone-washed finish. The tumbling action that achieves this finish does its part to round over any sharp edges during the process, so that there's not a crisp edge here and it's still quite comfortable. Whereas the Gerber is opened with your thumb, the Static is a flipper design with a KVT bearing pivot. It enables it to get really good action even though it's a smaller blade. Moving back to the handles, the FlatIron features either anodized aluminum as you see here, or textured G10. And that G10 version definitely gets the award for the most amount of grip between these two models. As far as size, there's plenty of length to use a full-handed grip on the FlatIron without needing to use the choil. The Static also uses stainless steel for its handles, but it's been machined in sort of a high-tech looking pattern, and it has a gray PVD coating for even more wear resistance. Because of the smaller nature of this design, I can only get a 3-finger grip on the handle, but when you use the choil, you can achieve a full grip. Turning the knife over, we have a stainless steel backside with the same type of machining and coating as on the front. And as you can see, this is a frame lock design that gives a lot of security behind the blade. The FlatIron is also a frame lock featuring stainless steel on the back, but it features a stone-washed pattern that matches the finish of the blade. Now there's no lock bar insert on either of these knives since they are made of stainless steel and they shouldn't really need one, but the FlatIron does have a stabilizing plate. This arrestor keeps the lock bar from being pushed too far out of shape when you're disengaging the lock. Now, early FlatIrons developed a little bit of a reputation for having some blade play, but they sorted that out pretty quickly, and this one here certainly has no problems with the lockup. In fact, with both these knives, I have full confidence in the lock. There's no blade play on either of them in any direction at all. Now, as far as pocket carry, neither of these knives are the lightest in the world. The FlatIron comes in at 5.6 ounces, and we're at 4 ounces with the Static, and that's mostly due to their stainless steel handle construction. So if ultralight carry is your thing, then you're probably going to want to stay away from both of these knives. That said, I don't really think either of them are too heavy to carry easily every day. The Gerber has a wide, flat pocket clip, and it's stone-washed just like the frame and the blade. And it holds the knife very securely, and it holds it in a tip-up fashion, and it can be used on the right side only. The Kershaw comes with a deep carry pocket clip that's painted black. This holds the knife lower in the pocket than the FlatIron if that's what you're after, and because it's smaller, it's going to take up less space, of course, in the pocket too, making it a little bit easier to carry. The Static is also going to be more friendly to left-handed users because the clip is easily reversible for either side in a tip-up configuration. Between the Gerber FlatIron and the Kershaw Static, they're both competitive in terms of build quality nowadays, and the prices are very similar as well, so this is where you all come in to judge these knives in the comments. Would you take the larger workmanlike blade of the FlatIron or the smaller and more high-tech style of the Static? Be sure to let us know, and to get your hands on either, click the link in the description to head over to KnifeCenter.com. David C. Anderson here, coming at...
Starting off well.
Because they've responded to some early criticisms of... You heard it. It's open season.
Roger that. Using that.
Can't use that.